Good morning, everyone. We're here at the starting line of the Bonneville Shoreline Trail Marathon. We're actually a couple of the early starters here at the marathon. There's actually the Salt Lake Marathon going on today down in the valley, thousands of people, but we'll be joining a small group, perhaps of 80, 100 people that will be running a trail marathon, gaining a little over 6,000 feet over the 26-mile course. We're just getting ready here to begin. Kind of quiet this morning because most of the people will be starting at 7. We're starting a little bit earlier. We should enjoy a good day. See Salt Lake City in the distance. Again, about 5:30. Can't see in the dark there, but there are a couple of headlamps way off in the distance. A couple other early starters. And then heading off up ahead. Salt Lake City. Heading down the trail, Bonneville Shoreline Trail. Very old trail. It actually forms the shoreline of the old Lake Bonneville that was here thousands of years ago. This trail stretches for miles. Down in the valley is the Salt Lake Marathon. Thousands of people join that. But up here on the trail, the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, there's a unique marathon going on. Over 26.2 miles, gaining about 6,000 feet in elevation, where maybe instead of thousands of people, perhaps 100 or so are joining. And it kind of takes you along a trail. You can't see, it's kind of dark, but it'll take you on a unique visit of these mountains. And if you're interested in a challenge, a rare challenge, this is the type of marathon you want to give a try. We're about 1 hour into the run. The sun's coming up. A little downhill at the moment. We've made it back to the starting line at about mile 4. The regular starters are arriving now. We're just gearing up and getting ready to continue on in the race. We've now left the regular Bonneville Shoreline Trail. We're heading up this gully a little over mile 6. And really wet years. This is flowing with water at this time. The last couple years, the race, there was plenty of water. Now we're making some of the climbs. This is at about mile 6.5. We're at about mile 6.5. Some runners are coming up the trail, making our way up this hill. What is challenging sometimes is that you think like you're about at the top, and then you reach a false peak like this one up here, because beyond that you have another peak to climb. Just some views in both directions. We now reach the top of this climb at about mile 7. You see over in this direction Black Mountain, and then down in this direction we're heading. Just left the aid station at about 9.7. Now we're going to be dropping down, heading up to Meridian Peak there in the distance. Not too bad. The weather's a little warm, but it'll get warmer. I really like this section. At about mile 10, heading down to City Creek. About mile 10.7. Coming down to the City Creek. Because right now we're at mile 11 and just made a deep descent off that hill over there. We have to go back up that hill, but I don't want to talk about it. So let's just keep walking. Right now, for the next mile or so, a couple miles, it'll be, for me, a kind of a walk. It'll level out, and then we can run some more. Runners coming up the trail. At this point, we're doing a series of switchbacks here as we climb on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. About mile 12. This climbs for about another mile and then levels off a little. Right now I'm about mile 13, a little over that. Still making way around Bonneville Shoreline Trail. You can see Salt Lake in the distance, some of the tall buildings, and then way off to the south. Then you can see some of the peaks. Made it to the halfway point. How do you feel?
Not very good. I think I'd rather be doing Salt Lake Marathon right now.
Yeah. Alright, we go straight. Yes. Kind of grueling, kind of up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
Now we're starting down the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. Gonna go down for a little ways. Coming up here in a couple minutes, we're at mile 14 and a half. Is a major climb. I didn't tell Shirley, my wife, about it, but it's kind of like in life where you have to face major obstacles, and this is one of them. If I had told her, she probably wouldn't want to do it. She probably would, but it's kind of hard. So coming up to the major climb, up to Meridian Peak. Now heading up to Meridian Peak. We're approaching the end of the, kind of like this death march. Heading up to Meridian Peak. It's kind of a long trudge, but we're almost at the top. Alright, we've reached about mile 17. We're beyond Meridian Peak now, and now you can see the Great Salt Lake City behind us, and we're just going to be making the descent now. It's pretty steep. Beautiful views up here all around. Here we go. Coming down about mile 17 and a half, coming down close to the road. Here we are coming into the aid station at about mile 20 and a half. We just passed the aid station, and now we're climbing out. What's kind of hard about this type of trail running is that just sometimes you just feel exhausted, sick to your stomach, have to pause and rest. That's what many people are doing. Mile 21! Give a wave! There's Shirley, she's at mile 21. Here we are at mile 21. Just 5 miles left along the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. Pretty level until we get to the end. Mile 21 and a half. Alright, we have just one more hill. We're at mile 25.
guys.
Thank you.